Thanks for coming back to my channel, Perspective Hearing Loss. If you're new to it, my name is Chantel, and I like to discuss different things about hearing devices, hearing health, and hear from you about what's going on in your world. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about one specific circumstance that I ran into when I first had mine. I was thinking about it because I know every day somebody's getting these, and every day somebody's frustrated with them. But the week that I got my hearing aids for the first time happened to be the week my company was having a sales meeting. Sales meetings are stressful enough, and in this sales meeting, we traveled down to this resort. We had hundreds of people there, and I was one of the presenters. I actually was doing a presentation about some product that we were launching, and I had a colleague that was presenting with me. I had gotten my hearing aids maybe earlier that same week and was pretty much not telling anyone that I had them. I was really over the top embarrassed by having to have them. I was still in my 30s, and I was already frustrated from not being able to hear, and then here I was frustrated that my hearing aids were going to be causing more issues. I hadn't yet adjusted to them. I hadn't yet adjusted to all the sounds I was hearing. It was frustrating. So then the presentation. We were doing the presentation in tandem, but kind of coming and going in two different parts. We had a huge screen behind us, huge speakers on either side. We were on a stage in front of a whole lot of people right in front of us. And during that time, I realized I didn't know how my hearing aids were programmed to hear people in the crowd, because we sometimes had people shout out questions. I didn't know how things were going to go with our speaker system, with my hearing aids. Even though we did a soft practice, it just was going to be a whole next level because we were actually turning on the speakers. So anyway, I get out there and I start saying my lines about what I was introducing and what tidbits I had to share to our audience of sales reps. And right away, when my colleague was supposed to speak, I could not make out what he was saying. I could not understand any of it. All of a sudden, it was like a wave of just noise crashing in. And what's worse is when I was speaking and when I was saying my part, I couldn't hear myself. It was like the speakers were canceling the sound system in my hearing aids. It was awful. And I was like looking at my colleague, and I was like, I can't hear. I can't hear what you're saying. And he was kind of laughing and, carrying on, and it was awful. It was terrible. But I survived. I ended up telling a few people that day why I was so disoriented up on the stage and why it was overwhelming for me to be in that circumstance. If I had had hearing aids for a long time, I don't doubt that I would have still had a little bit of issues, but not nearly like I did. Not even close. And if I had, I would have been prepared to turn down my hearing aids or know what to do. I didn't even know what to do because it was all so new to me still. I know there were people around me that I worked with that just didn't know or didn't care or didn't realize the severity of what it was like to go through that and how embarrassing it was for me to try to figure out what was going on with all this noise. Funny thing is, I went up to my CEO at the time, and we were sitting up at the bar, and I said to him, I go, I have something to tell you. And I think he thought I was going to say I was leaving or something, because he looked like, what? And I said, I have hearing aids. And he was awesome. He was amazing and like very encouraging, and said, you know what? That's just another thing that's just going to help you get by. It's not bad. It's good. It'll help you. And you're just going to have to adjust to them. And he had an accident when he was living in a ski area, and he had gone through a traumatic thing in his life, which I completely forgot because he looks totally normal to me. And he said, well, you're talking to a guy who has one glass eye. And it's true. I mean, that right there was point blank. Put your pity party away, Chantel. And it helped put everything in perspective for me like that. Like, no doubt, I realized that there are a lot worse things in life. I will adjust. And I have. And you will too. Just hang in there. Explore all these different scenarios and spaces that you're going to be in and talking in and hearing in and concerts and everything. And just be prepared to be a little frustrated and be a little annoyed that it may not be like you're used to back in the good old days when you had your hearing, if you had your hearings. Some people never had their hearing. Some of you watching this probably are like, wow, I was born with hearing loss. I know no different. I think we can all learn from each other. So if you have any stories you'd like to share, please let me know. I'd love to have you on my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It will really mean a lot to me. I'm trying to get up to 100 subscribers. Not 100,000, but 100. So if you're watching, please do so. Thank you.